Hello, America, and welcome to the first installment of our Freedom series, where we talk about what freedom is, what freedoms we actually have, and take a close look at our constitutional amendments. Right here, right now, on the lost art of common sense.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. How's it going, Josh? I just want to kind of point out that this episode is part of our Freedom series. Basically what we're going to do is go through the first 10 amendments of the Constitution and kind of discuss what we think they mean and what our interpretations of them are. This is going to be a series we do maybe once, twice a month. It depends on current events, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. Some of the amendments I think we're going to put together like as a show, like 7, 8, or whatever. So we're going to go from there. This is the First Amendment we're going to be discussing, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, please let us know. Remember to comment on our social media pages, our podcast pages, reviews, send us 5 stars, all that stuff. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and here we go. So first off, I just want to read the amendment and let everybody know what it says for all together, and then I will let you discuss and stuff. So just be quiet, Josh.
Sounds good.
All right. So the First Amendment. Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment. All right, we're going to have to cut that part.
Nope, not cutting it out. Just keep going, buddy.
Let me get a drink here.
That's right.
We got a mouthful of phlegm. I shouldn't have talked so much.
Clear the voice box.
That's right. All right. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, Josh, let's go to the first part here. Obviously, it's the big one. Well, it's not the biggest one, but freedom of religion.
Yeah.
Do you think we still have it? Do you think, do you agree? Has it been infringed upon before, you think, or recently?
Yeah, I think it was infringed upon in the last 2 years over the COVID mandates, which I don't think that any constitutional right, like if even if it's during an emergency, if they can suspend your rights, then it's not a right. It's a privilege afforded to you by the government. And that's not what the Constitution is. So I think when they weren't letting people free exercise thereof, I know they made excuses like, well, you can do it online or go home. It's like, no prohibiting, period.
Yeah.
It's a right.
Yeah.
And I do think that, and there seems to be, I don't know, there seems to be, when you look a lot into the modern culture and stuff that's going on, there seems to be I don't know if I would call it a war, but there's definitely a lot of people.
There's a huge backlash against
Christianity,
religion.
I think.
It's Christianity, mostly, I mean.
There's a strong, there's a lot of atheism going on.
Against Judeo-Christian values, I think.
Yeah, which is kind of the founding of the country.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of anti-country stuff going on, so.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I just found it as weird to where they prohibited one part of it and not the other part, where they didn't let you go to church, yet they let you peaceably assemble. And if you want, I mean, mostly peaceably assemble.
Well, and they closed down churches but left
time.
Liquor stores open.
Yeah. So, way to go, America. You got your values correct.
It just, I don't know. It did make a lot of sense, and I think the last 2 years did definitely show us. And I'm sure it's happened before that. But, yeah, I would say that there was definitely issues with that. And even if it's a church that you don't agree with, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a right.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a Satanist cult or whatever. I mean, maybe not cult, but like Satanism or something. I mean, they have the right.
There is a Church of Satan.
I know there is. I'm saying they have a right just as much as anybody else, and they shouldn't be closed down as a Catholic church or a mosque or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
synagogue,
that
whatever.
one was definitely, kind of. I didn't like what was going on with that, and
No.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't go to Sunday mass, but I mean, if people want to go to church and they need that,
A
then
lot of
they
people
should be able
do.
to do it.
That's where they get a lot of peace in their life, you know?
Yeah, that's why. I mean, if people need to go to church to reaffirm their faith, or just to feel strong in their faith, and by
I
all
can't see
means,
how you, yeah, I don't see
go.
how you can prohibit that. I mean, I think that, I think that might have helped, not only COVID, but I mean, I don't know if it deterred anything, but it definitely didn't help people's depression and stuff like that.
No, there's a huge uptick in that. We were basically treated like children for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Couldn't
and
couldn't depend on us to make the right decision, so they just banned everything.
yeah, this
Two
one was
weeks, 2 weeks to
this,
stop the spread.
yeah, that was one of the most worrying parts about COVID is how fast people give up their rights. You know,
Yeah, like if you give up a right just to feel safe, then you don't deserve it.
yeah. If you have to, I don't understand how to. Why do you have to close the church? I think people are smart enough to either go or don't go if they're sick. I mean, you would think that individual rights are above governmental rights, but they're not.
Technically, they're supposed to be, but
Yeah,
like
but they're
we
not.
knew. Well, and we knew pretty. Now, granted, a lot of this religion thing is going to have to do with COVID because it was recent and there was major infringements on the First Amendment as far as COVID went in religion. But like we knew pretty early on who was at high risk and who wasn't. So it's like
The olds and the
if
sick.
I want to take that risk and go to church and take a risk of getting sick, that's my right to do so.
Agreed.
And so yeah, I had a problem with that.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, it was a sad deal. So I don't know. I would I'd be like I said. It's just weird how fast people gave up their uh, their rights, especially that one. I mean, no one. I mean, there was like people getting arrested for having church gatherings and stuff. It was
Oh,
really
there's a
sick.
I forgot where he's from. It might be
I think it was Canada.
it's up
Though.
north, I think. Or maybe it is Canada, but there's a pastor who's been arrested like 4 times for
Yeah,
having church.
I think it
And
was Canada.
well, and see, I support police in general. Um, I don't do that defund the police crap, but the I have a real problem with the only way that this stuff gets enforced is if you have people to enforce it. So I have a real problem when you see cops enforcing unconstitutional laws.
Yeah.
That did bother me quite a bit.
You got anything else on the religion part, or
No, I think that kind of covered it. I mean, yeah, they were infringed upon.
all right? Well, let's jump to the freedom of speech. This one is a doozy. Um, do you think hate speech should be outlawed, or any speech should be outlawed?
No, because well, see, here's the thing with the amendments. It more only stands for government stuff. Like if you're going to go out and say something stupid, the consequences are you're either going to be shunned by society or you're going to have your ass kicked.
Yes, but
So
shouldn't be. I mean, it's not outlawed. I guess
no, I don't think there should be outlawed
But
speech.
I mean, there's always consequences to what you say.
Yeah, well, I think some of the argument is with the reason people try to shut down speech is they think like, so let's say if it's you get some neo-Nazi jackass and he's saying neo-Nazi jackass stuff. People are like, well, we need to shut that down because it's going to get people to follow. It's like, well, the way that you shut that down is you counter the narrative with non-neo-Nazi jackass stuff, like
Exactly.
common sense stuff. And that's the way we need to go about it. You defeat hate speech with good speech,
Yeah,
not by shutting them down. Because then you're not changing anybody's mind. If anything, you're just, like one guy said, the one thing I like about letting anybody say what they want is you know what they're thinking and you know what they're talking about. If you try to shut them down, then you no longer know what these crazy groups, or if it's somebody you don't agree with, you don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'd rather them be out, be loud and proud of their stupid ass cause. So at least
Well, I mean, it helps you.
So,
It helps you. You know. Oh, look at that
yeah.
guy. He's dumb.
I'd rather know who the neo-Nazi is than not know who the neo-Nazi is.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you can pick them out pretty quick, but
Yeah.
you don't see a whole lot of upstanding, successful neo Nazis. I'm sure there are some, but
What I liked here in the last couple of years was speech is violence, then silence is violence. Basically, anything you don't agree with us with is violence.
yeah, and I would say that, well, the government, more specifically this current White House administration, working with social media companies to censor free speech on the internet, that is 100% a violation of the First Amendment. They cannot do that. If a private company wants to do it and wants to take a risk of losing their followers or members or whatever, then I guess that's on them. Even though I still think that like these social media sites are kind of considered town squares, so if they're going to take the protections they got from, you think I would remember it because it was mentioned like 500,000 times. Starts with a number 5, I think. But whatever that protection is, if they're going to take advantage of it, then just stay the hell out of it.
Well, I think it's like 237, isn't it?
I don't know. I know I heard it a bunch of times. I don't remember it. It probably doesn't even have a 5 in it.
No, it's 2-3 something. I think it's 7. So, listeners, we found out the donkey thing, so don't worry about that. But yeah.
Yep, I was 100% your hard-hitting news on the lost art of common sense. Arnold Schwarzenegger does own a donkey.
Right. But I mean, I agree. I don't know. I think Facebook or Twitter and YouTube and anybody else that owns a social media company, they have the right to. They are a private company until they're labeled media or whatever else. They can do what they want. I mean, like you said, I don't think the government should be pushing down on them to, to censor something. Just because the government says it's misinformation, like this week, all of a sudden, Hunter Biden's laptop is real.
Oh,
But that was
well, I
a
thought
lot
that was
of people.
conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy number 10 that has been proven correct. So that's what I'm saying is a lot of these conspiracy theories have been proven to be, factual. So
It's called delayed truth,
yeah, it's just weird how
and it's section 230. You were right.
I said 237.
It wasn't a number 5.
I said 237. So
Well, you got 2 numbers right. I got 0.
I don't know where you got 5. I mean, that's just like weird.
Well, and say, okay, what does it say when the White House is having a conference call with a bunch of TikTokers to try to get out information on Ukraine?
It says that they're.
How sad is that?
How are they just going to be fed information from? It's sad that our youth can't just look things up for themselves. That they have to be fed information from the White House to be distributed to their millions of followers who are going to blindly probably believe what they say because, I mean, some kids are idiots.
Like we might talk about, we talk about stuff that's in the news and like hit hard hitting, journalism. Arnold Schwarzenegger's donkey. But like, so that's why we say you don't come to us for news. You come to us for our opinion on stuff. But if you're going to TikTok to get your news, wow.
Yeah, I can tell you what. If we're your basis for news,
you're awesome.
Yeah,
we love you.
I do love you, and you are awesome. But you might want to expand your horizons. I mean, unless you're.
At least add to your list of sources.
Yeah. Please don't just count us as your source. We're opinion based. I like to call it opinion politics.
That is right. Opinion politics.
Trademarked.
Yeah.
Not
Put
yet.
that on the back of a shirt.
Hashtag opinion politics.
Yay! We probably did not make that up. We probably stole.
Oh, I'm sure I heard it from somewhere else. So
coined the phrase. All right. So yeah, freedom of speech. What they were doing with social media was 100%. Well, and what they're doing with the freedom convoy in the United States.
yeah,
The cops not letting the trucks into Washington D.C. goes against your
well that's a little farther
right
down
to
yeah.
peacefully assemble.
That's a little farther down.
Yeah,
But
we'll get to that.
yeah, we'll get to that here in a minute. But yeah, going back to speech, I think there's, like you said, there's consequences to what you say. Like, I don't think there's anything that's outlawed from saying. Is there? Is there any phrases that can? Because I know there are countries that outlaw certain words. I think the UK does. I think Germany might. I think Canada.
Yeah, I don't think you can say fat in North Korea.
I don't think you can say a lot in North Korea though. Like I'm talking about free countries here. Like, I think Canada. I think there's certain phrases and words that you can get arrested or fined for.
I think we've learned that Canada is not a free country.
It's like that's true. What would you call it?
But we're the only country that really has like our like rights kind of like spelled
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. Do they
Like they don't have the right to protest
in Canada?
in Canada.
Do they
I
have
don't
freedom
think
of
so.
speech? Do they even have
No.
a constitution? They got it, right?
They probably have something, but I don't think they have the. I don't actually think they have like what we have in the First Amendment. I don't think they have it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think you can homestead trees for producing maple syrup, and that's
Them
about
crazy
it.
Canucks and their syrup.
I know, but it's
Remember
good.
when they were
syrup.
all friendly
Natural.
and now they're just basically
Well, I'd say most Canadians are. It's just the
one
weird
dictator?
beta males that get in
Yeah.
charge turn all tyrannical Dr.
Well,
Evil.
I think they have 3 or 4 different parties too. So
Oh no, they're a what do you call
Parliament?
it? Yeah, they're a parliament system. That's why like a lot of people don't like our
2-party system.
two-party system. But in a parliamentary something word that I don't know how to pronounce.
Parliamentary?
That's how you get a sure, yeah, that. That's how you get a leader like Trudeau who only got 13% of the vote.
That's effing crazy.
So that's the one thing. That's the one good thing about a two-party system. About it.
So it's just the votes were so far apart that 13% won.
Well, it's like the thing. Like if you have, like if you, it's the same thing that happens. Like if you have somebody that runs a third party, whatever way they lean, they're going to split the vote for that party.
Yeah. What they should do, and being it's March Madness, is do like a bracket system.
I don't know how that works.
Like so like number 1 seed Trudeau versus number 10 seed, I don't know, Syrup Steve, and you just keep going that way. Then it'd be like
Sir Steve would get my vote.
whoever. Yeah, hell yeah.
He's a producer.
So you do like 3 rounds. So whoever then it's a final match between the top 2 guys.
We should do that. I think they should.
I think that'd be an awesome way to do things. Like do everything tournament style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would vote for Syrup Steve.
I don't know much about basketball, so
It's a bracket. I mean, I'm not even saying like
I'm assuming it's like a tournament.
A lot of
bracket.
players-
Like you have all the teams,
Yes.
and it gets smaller.
yes, and they're seeded as favorites, and
Yeah, I mean I know about that.
you know,
Just not about basketball.
yeah,
Played 1 year of basketball in junior high, and I got yelled at because I got a breakaway, and then I got the ball stolen from me because apparently you're supposed to dribble on the outside. Like if you're on the left side of the court, you dribble with your left hand. I can't do that. So the guy stole the ball from me, and that was the first and only season.
and you're like, fuck this.
Like, this is
I'm out.
you want me to dribble with both hands? This sport's dumb.
What kind of mutant do you think I am?
I could dribble
can't be doing
real
that shit.
fast with my right hand, like back and forth. stuff.
Obviously not fast enough. You got stolen.
No, yeah. I didn't even think about somebody running up on me. He just took the ball.
Yeah.
Not like dumb.
Why would they try that? That's fucking crazy.
The look of disappointment on the coach's face was priceless. So
all right, should we get back to our questions?
Oh, yeah.
You want to reminisce your junior high basketball? Well, not glory days, but
they were glory days, Kevin.
days?
They were glory days.
Really? your 1 minute of fame.
No failure's a failure if you think you're a winner.
Yeah, and that you do. So with the freedom, let's go to the press. Unless you want to go more on speech. I mean, we can.
No, I mean, well, here's the one thing about there is definitely, it's not necessarily the government doing it, but there is an attack on free speech in this country. I mean, yeah. I mean, because the Constitution really only protects us from the government doing it. But, like, these people that throw riots or threaten people because they're putting on a speech or a talk, or whatever at these colleges or something, and it's for people that want to hear what they have to say. And then you get these other people that think their ideas are poison or questions their reality with facts, so they have mental breakdowns, and then they just lose their shit and start burning stuff. It's like, we need to get away from that.
Yeah, because, I mean, most of them are, like, public institutions, too. So, I mean, I don't know how they can...
Well, and I think, I don't know. I mean, I guess you combat it with, like, making some kind of... It would have to be local, like a local ordinance that you can counter protest, but you can't, like, violently shut down speech.
Yeah, and that's what's happening a lot. Like you said, a lot of these universities is a lot of conservative speakers are getting... they're getting turned down, or there's professors getting turned down for certain ideas, or getting fired for certain ideas.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they burned down a light stand at Berkeley, I think, over Ben Shapiro. And Berkeley was supposed to be like the free speech, university of the world.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to listen to them, don't listen to them.
Yeah, you can't just not do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it.
I mean, that was my real issue with, like, yeah, I mean, the government, they do real good about tiptoeing around it, and every now and again you'll catch them with their hand in the cookie jar. But, like, we have a cultural and societal issue with people just shutting down free speech, and speech is what prevents violence. Because when people stop talking, that's when the violence happens.
Speech is violence, from what I've heard.
Well,
certain speech is violence.
I guess if you're hypersensitive, I guess words can hurt. But
would you say about opinions that you have the right to your opinion? I can't remember what the hell you said. You were talking to me yesterday about it. I can't remember how you worded it, but it was pretty good.
Well, it's probably because I read it off a T-shirt or something. I think it's like
bumper sticker news is what you get here.
Bumper sticker news. It's like you have your right to your opinion, but you don't have the right to mine, or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But so, basically, you can think whatever you want, but you can't make me think what you think. Unless you convince me.
Deny me the ability to, listen to who I want to listen to, because you don't like somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
If somebody wants to listen to some neo-Nazi dude, he has the right to do it. I'm not going, but...
Well, and you're just like, oh, he went in there. Judge.
Yeah.
And we need more of that, too.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's just funny how...
Societal shaming.
One side judges people. Yeah. I mean, we got people, too. I mean...
But you can judge people for whatever, like, I think neo-Nazis are assholes. I think most extremists on either side, doesn't matter if it's right, left, conservative, liberal, progressive, whatever, the ones on the end are crazy assholes.
Yeah, I think 90% of the country just wants to live and let live, and 10% wants to push their agendas on you.
No, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably it for free speech, I guess.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah.
What's sad, Kevin? Tell me what's sad.
It's our politicians are usually, they're starting to go far. Maybe
Oh
not
yeah,
on the right.
that's what I'm saying. I don't like when I talk about people in Washington Democrats. I'm not really talking about the like. Granted, they have their supporters, and obviously there's somebody voting for like people like Nancy Pelosi, and you are dumb. But
You are dumb.
I don't rope I don't rope the typical Democrat voter in with the leadership that's in Washington. That would
They're
be
time for-
mean and
they're-
judgy, and I try
yeah.
not to be that way.
Well, I won't judge Nancy Pelosi because every time she
No, no,
talks,
she's an idiot. Anybody who votes for her is an idiot. I'm just saying. Now we
Yeah.
all know they're idiots. So if you keep voting for them, then you're an idiot. Same thing goes with Republicans. I mean,
Yeah, there's a bunch of whoever keeps voting Mitch McConnell, please stop.
yeah, it's like I don't know.
I don't know if you're listening to me, probably not, but please stop.
Mitch McConnell reminds me of the rich guy who got his face all jacked up in the Silence of the Lambs.
Kevin McCarthy too. I don't like him either.
I don't like him either. Like, he used to be all right until he got to become the minority leader. Now he's all like, oh, and then we're going to do this, and we should do this. For one thing, you don't trust a soft-spoken man in a leadership role like that. That's what Justin Trudeau is. Don't trust him.
I'm not a big Dan Crenshaw fan anymore either.
Well, see, he says one thing and he votes another way. And
Yeah, and he yelled at a 10-year-old kid, so that was
yeah, I saw that little town hall he did. That was
dude,
that was awkward.
yeah. So I mean, each party's got their people.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of them too. It seems like they have good intentions when they go in.
They get poisoned by the swamp. Something in the water. It's probably lead.
Maybe it is lead. Maybe they're just getting dumber.
It's an old town.
It is. They might have lead-lined pipes.
Everybody's
Sleeps
getting
in.
more dense from the lead settling in their bones, and they're also becoming dumb.
Yeah, it's like I don't get it. Like once they hit Washington, I think maybe that's Biden's fault. He's been there so long.
Except for
He's
that
just
one
drinks.
girl. What's her name? She's always in the news. Like, she can basically do nothing because she's been censored so many times. But we need more Congress people like that. Like, we need
Mahoy Taylor Greene, or is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, we need more
Boebert?
like her. But they, I think they get in fistfights sometimes in England's parliament. I think we need to do that.
I think there
Everyone's
should
like,
like just have
what I
a
don't
grudge
get is-
match.
Yeah.
Whoever
what
wins
was
will
that,
pass your policy. Put your
What was
biggest
that
guy
show
forward.
on MTV that was all claymation? Was it
Oh,
Deathmatch?
Yeah, it was anime deathmatch, or
Yeah, whatever that
Deathmatch.
show was. We
it
need
was
to
all
have
the
that.
musician people that were fighting each other.
Celebrities
that was
and
awesome.
yeah, we need to, actually need to bring back that show. It's because everything on MTV is stupid, but that was awesome. But yeah, we need that. I just like they talk about my colleagues on the left, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, for one thing, you're not colleagues. You're a representative of where you're
Your
from.
state.
That's it. Your colleagues are your constituents.
Yeah.
You don't need to work with
they're-
anybody. You just, like, if that's what your voters want, your voter wants you to vote for. If your constituency wants you to vote for something stupid, then that's what you do.
Yeah. Well, you see how Manchin and Sinema did it. They knew they were going to get voted out. They passed some of that stuff. So they're trying to save their
Well,
votes.
because Manchin's actually from he's from a red state.
He's
the
from
only
West
reason
Virginia.
why, yeah, the only reason why he stayed in as long as he does is because he generally votes pretty, I would say at least moderate.
Yeah.
But he's the most powerful Democrat in Washington right now.
yeah. Him and,
one of 'em.
Him and Sinema. And I think there's another one.
The two most powerful Democrats in Washington.
Yeah. So,
That's my movie.
good on
boys.
you guys.
Yep, at least they're not voting for stupid shit. All right, so let's go on to the press.
Yeah.
Ask me
So,
about the press, Kevin.
I will ask you about the press. With the freedom
It's
of
all
press,
garbage.
I agree, but with the freedom of press and speech, do you think the establishment media has responsibility to tell the public they are opinion media, and should there be consequences for blatant lies told by the press?
Yes and yes.
Agreed.
You wanted me to? You want me to explain that one?
I thought you were going to
last
elaborate.
week with the whole green energy power thing. It's fine, but I came prepared this week. No, I think. Well, okay. So one, the government shouldn't try to be shutting down. Like they're always talking crap about, and Trump talked crap about everybody,
Yeah.
even Fox News from time to time.
Yup.
And then when it's Democrats in power, they talk crap about Fox News and talk radio. But there needs to be, I think if you're like, there needs to be consequences for reporting falsehoods, because it seems like reporting has gotten super lazy lately, to where they'll just put a story out without actually checking their sources or doing their due diligence, and
It's
like
basically,
there's no consequences.
It seems like it's whatever.
and there should be.
It's whatever they're being told from the White House. I mean, this goes on both
Well,
sides.
it is weird that like every news station, like the alphabet stations, they all repeat the same talking points almost verbatim at the same time. It's like, here's your memo.
That's because I think BlackRock owns them all. Well, at least
I just know BlackRock didn't offer to buy my house for 4 times for what it was worth, so I got a little thing against BlackRock. That and the fact that they're buying up all the houses so people can't buy. But that's about the Great Reset. We're not talking about right.
No.
But we will.
On another series we'll have on just conspiracy theories.
Yep.
Well, that might not be a conspiracy theory. That might be an actual episode.
No, that is actually happening right now. Everything that's going on. But we'll elaborate under the Conspiracy Theory or Not series.
Yeah.
But no, I think like, and I don't. They make Joe Rogan do a disclaimer saying that this is opinion or whatever the crap that they made him do on Spotify, which is bullshit. He's got conversations, but he actually has experts on, like the guy who helped invent the technology that they made the vaccine out of. Like he has actual experts on his show.
Yeah, he made the mRNA
But,
vaccine or mRNA, whatever it is.
Yeah, but so then so if you're gonna make Joe Rogan do that, then you need to have a disclaimer on, even if it's at the bottom. News commentary. You're either what do they call those? A commentator, which would be like Tucker Carlson or
Probably like Dan
Potato Head.
Seltzer.
Seltzer.
Stelzer, not Seltzer.
Seltzer.
Stelzer.
Stelzer.
Stelzer. STEL. Something.
Yeah, but he's a commentator. Like he's not, and the other ones are anchormen.
Yeah, but all the
Ron Burgundy.
But you had to remember when. I remember when CNN was mostly news when it first came out. Mostly just.
Well, hell, Glenn Beck used to be on CNN.
Yeah, it was just mostly just stories. Not stories, but it's mostly just news. Like, hey, this happened here, this happened here, this happened here, and now it's all these cable news channels are all opinion. There's not.
Well, I think the problem is news started to try to add like an entertaining thing. Like they're always and that's why they always show you bad shit, because that's what people watch. Like, oh, explosions, murder, whatever. That's what people tune into. Peaceful protest with a burning building behind you. Burning behind you, not building. That would be weird. Here's the building sporadically building itself behind me. But like, yeah, it's like they just pick the stories that are going to try to get the most views, and it's like, just report the news and people will watch you.
Yeah.
Like it's.
There can be opinion
and if
shows.
And if it's commentary, because like the commentary people, like they report stories, and then they give you their
analysis,
personal take on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we do, but we're way less, polished and professional.
No, we're not professional at all. Well, maybe a little bit.
No, we're cool. That's the difference.
Yeah, we're badass. No, I don't know. News has gotten so...
Or dumb.
Whatever. Same thing, right? couple of badasses.
Cool, dumb.
It's either badasses or
That's all I'll say.
jackasses.
Cool, badass, dumb people.
Yes. But I don't know. It's hard to figure out what... I mean, like, the news I get at, like, 10 o'clock or whatever, it's mostly just local news, from my local stations. I mean, I think that's what news should be. I mean, I get you have your opinion shows, or should have your opinion shows, but it should be more about facts than about opinion if you're a news channel. That's just my take on it. And I'm going for most of them. I mean, all of them. Fox, MSNBC, CNN, probably Newsmax. I don't know if I've ever watched Newsmax. I have no idea.
It's I watched it, and it's like PBS started a news network. Like, who's that guy that was Trump's first press secretary?
Don't know.
He's like, he does not have the voice.
It's like my voice
to be on. No, it's worse.
God damn.
I mean, your voice isn't bad. His voice is just hard to listen to. But, yeah, like Newsmax, I mean, they're new, so, whatever. So, they have to build up their viewership and get money. But, like, it's like PBS started a news network. Like, the 7 o'clock guy reminds me of, like if MacGruber had a more professional brother that did the news, it would be that guy.
Maybe we should try to get a show on Newsmax.
I think we should get a show on Newsmax. We'd make Newsmax the max.
I'd have to watch my language. Or just be put on after 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Late night. You can do whatever you want on cable. They sometimes show some, like you're watching a movie like on even, say, TBS or something late at night, and every now and again it'll be like, I didn't know you could show that on TV. Oh, wait, it's
the
cable.
only opinions that matters. This is the lost art of common sense.
Those stations are in the naughty numbers. Yeah. But yeah, I think there needs to be more transparency, not with just the reporting and the fact that they should tell you the truth. And if they don't, there needs to be repercussions for that. Like, granted, if they're going around lying about individuals like they did with that kid in Washington or Rittenhouse, probably going to be some monetary consequences for that. But like, if you're going around spreading, yeah, it is if it's about an individual. I don't know. It's like it depends. Like, one's written and one's spoken, but whatever. I don't know the difference. But there needs to be. I think there, like, if you're just, because what basically it looks like is the news has become a propaganda arm of the state.
Yes,
and that is not what you have in a free country. Because it's getting harder and harder to find alternate sources of information if you wanted it. I mean, look at how, like everyone got ticked off at Twitter for kicking everybody off. So then Parler started up, and then Amazon just crushed that. I mean, but that's what you get for relying on somebody else.
I mean, do you think they have the right? Do you think those, like, public sites? I mean, should they have the right to be able to ban certain things based on their moral and political views? I mean,
no, but when you're talking about private stuff, that would all have to, you definitely have to have a lawyer read your contract when you sign up for it. I mean, if there's a clause in there that we can cancel your website at any time for any reason, might want to find someone else to do business with, because you never know.
I mean, there were sketchy things going on there, because like their fact checkers.
Oh, they've.
Some people were getting shit taken down because it was like the dumbest part of the fact. Like, yes, he said this, but he didn't say it in that tone.
Oh yeah, like, well, that's not what he meant when he said that thing.
Yeah, like, yeah, you can't say what he meant. I mean,
and it's like Facebook does it, and like YouTube puts their little articles on. Whoever clicks that crap? Like, I don't know how many times I've watched a video, like, say on YouTube, that says, like, COVID-19, learn the truth about vaccination. Who clicks on that? Oh, I better check this out before I watch the video. And then you watch the video like, you're all lying.
Yeah, no shit.
You're liars. That link said you're liars.
Exactly. I mean, obviously you looked at
And
that
I
for a
could
reason.
give a crap about fact checkers, especially on Facebook. I wish I remembered what it was. There was this post on Facebook that had like, that hazy cover that they put over it to block it. And I clicked on it, and what it was that would be considered,
That's for graphic
yeah,
images,
but
isn't
like
it?
what it was, it had something to do. I think it was like patriotic. It was something like that. Like
Yeah.
when you clicked on it to make it go away, and then you look at the other crap that scrolls through your feed, you're like, hmm, that seems a tad bit dumb. See, I do I do try to censor my cursing a little bit because there was another word.
I try to.
You fail
but
horribly.
I just get worked up, and I'm like, I guess.
Well,
worked up, fuck.
once I start getting a little sauce, get a little loosened up,
Yeah. My
then the sailor comes out of me, and he talks dirty. But yeah, so I think there should be some kind of. It's just like it's not that. Just do your job. Everybody on every side. I mean,
Exactly.
I've watched. I'm not gonna lie. I watch Tucker Carlson from time to time, and I've watched him, and I'll be like, no,
Dude,
really, no.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody does it.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody should.
You don't go to one source
should not get-
for all your information. For one thing,
People should not get their news from, the news channels. I don't know where you get your news from anymore.
I don't know. You just get it from multiple sources. I mean, I look at all kinds of different things. I mostly,
Try to put
I
it
mean,
together and to try to make.
I'm thinking about just solely going to TikTok for my news, even though that would require me getting a.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I heard there's some influencers that have some good stuff about the
See,
Ukraine
and
Russia war and oil prices.
Well,
oil
if the
prices.
White House is going to influencers to spread information about stuff, that means they're influencing. Like I know I say propaganda a lot, but I think we're in the middle of a color revolution, so I think we're just getting inundated and gaslighted like crazy. But that's why you got to look at all different, just look at all the different things, and then just figure it out for yourself. Just don't listen to anybody blindly and be like, "Oh yeah, that's what Humpty Dumpty said." So, and he
Humpty Dumpty didn't fall off the wall. He was
no, he
pushed.
sits in a chair, in a suit jacket and his boxers. Real thing.
Oh. Oh yeah, no one should listen to Humpty Dumpty anyways. That whole station is.
It's sad. I mean,
At least MSNBC has the
Morning Joe.
they tell you it's opinion. At least they tell you it's opinion though.
Morning
Their
Joe
opinion
guy's an
shows.
idiot. Like, oh my gosh.
CNN is the news network you can trust.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Fox News is what? Fair and balanced?
Yeah, I mean they have. I don't know if they're. I would say you get a little bit more straight news from them, but I mean you never know.
No. I mean, again, don't blindly trust what the hell they have to say. Go look for it yourself.
Yeah, I mean it's. And don't go to echo chambers. Just to
I mean,
reaffirm what you believe in. Like listen to other stuff. Now I'm not saying. I've tried listening to the progressive stations on Sirius, and no, I just can't do it.
I tried listening to progressive podcasts, and it's an angry drive.
Yeah,
home.
generally it's full of hate, it's full of ignorance, and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Like there's no basis on reality. What I found, that's my personal take. You can, whatever. If that's your bag,
again,
carry it proudly. But
yeah. Everybody has the right to their beliefs.
I've tried though. I've tried, and I was like, "This is dumb. Can't do it." But yeah, that's what I think. I think the press is jacked up, and I think it's an easy fix, and I think they should do it. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, I think. What the hell? We'll go. We'll go something else. That was something. It's something local that I just couldn't believe happened.
Please share.
Would you like to? Okay. All right. I'll tell you about it because I think Blackhawk Bank shut down or something. They're going to donate their statue or something of Chief.
I remember that bank.
To the city. Yeah, to the city. Now people are getting mad because they say it's a unfair representation of Native Americans.
How's that? Like, I remember that logo.
I don't know, but
it's just
it's what he looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it from a picture.
It wasn't even a cartoon.
So
it's a
I don't
very
know.
realistic looking logo.
I know that Native Americans don't look like that anymore. Everybody does. But, I mean, it was made from a photo. So I don't know but people are up in arms about it. And I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of white ladies.
Generally is.
Yeah. So,
I have a...
it's a bunch of college kids and white ladies.
I have a thing that happened here in Amarillo. Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I didn't, if they want to go out and do it, I'm not going to try to shut them down because I don't care. You can look at them and think, what the fuck? But, so apparently, I don't know if you would call it a protest. It wasn't a protest. Well, I guess kind of. But so there's these dudes, okay, standing in a busy intersection or on a road, and they're holding up these signs.
On a road?
Well, no, not in the road. On the side of the road. But they're holding up these signs, and I forgot what they said, but it had something. They were basically protesting against circumcision. And it's these guys wearing all white, and then they had a red spot on their crotch.
What?
And they're like, stop, like, mutilating babies or young boys. Or I don't know. It was dumb. But I was like, it's just not something you see in Texas all the time, unless you're down in Austin.
It's not something you see anywhere all the time.
I was like, oh, that's a thing. There's a growing movement for anti-circumcision.
Hold on. Well, if you were to guess, what political affiliation, what would you say they are?
I'm thinking they're probably not voting for Republicans.
So
I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe that's a new thing in the because
maybe it's a Republican stance. I don't know.
I don't really associate myself with Republicans.
I mean, if they're on the left, it's cool to kill them, but it's not cool to mutilate their penis after.
I guess
that's when the cutting stops.
That's what they call it, mutilation. And then they had red spots on their pants.
So it's cool to vacuum them out, but not cut their penis a little bit.
Yeah, like I don't know if the protest was like done sarcastically or not.
Maybe they had a buddy. Maybe they had a buddy that got circumcised. Like maybe he joined maybe became Jewish or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, and all of a sudden they're like,
"Hey, that hurt."
And also he's a 40-year-old man having to get his.
I did not enjoy that. We need to stop the babies. But yeah, that was that was kind of weird. That was weird. And it's like there is no I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody who drove by. I'm like, you know what? Yes, we need to put a stop to it. Look at those boys' pants. Those pants are stained for life. They're gonna have to get new ones now.
They used to not give babies any kind of painkillers before surgery.
I did not know that
because they didn't think they felt pain.
That seems dumb.
Until a certain age. True fact. It's like in the 1940s or 30s, when science was dumb.
But science is concrete, Kevin, and never changes. That's why science
never changes.
Is science.
Until it changes.
Even though technically science isn't actually like a tangible thing.
Not like, there's very few I don't know. I mean, there's facts in science, but there's also...
Well, yeah, there are hard facts, but I mean, science itself is like, the acting of discovery. It's not
at one point, the Earth was the center of the universe.
It is a sentient
So.
universe.
Well, the universe wasn't that big though.
No.
Anyway, the Earth was flat for a while. And, I mean, I guess if you
Then
ask
it became
people,
flat
it still is.
again.
See, science goes in a circle.
No, I'm gonna go up.
Unlike the Earth.
I
It
am
goes in a
gonna
circle.
go up on one of the tall buildings here in town because we're 3,500 feet above sea level, and I'm going to point it toward Oklahoma City. I'm gonna go up there with a telescope because if I could see the rings of Saturn, I should be able to see Oklahoma City from the tallest building in town. And if I can't, well, then I'm going to call bullshit on flat Earth. Until then, it's up in the air. The Earth could be flat.
What if there's a hill in your way?
No, highest part. We're Cap
How come-
Rock.
If somebody from flat Earth, I mean, if you're a flat earther, please enlighten me how every time somebody looks into a telescope, every other damn thing is round.
We're the
But
exception, Kevin, because we're actually on a spaceship.
Isn't every planet on a spaceship? Isn't every planet a spaceship? Isn't everything in goddamn space a spaceship?
Well, technically, if you think about it, we are kind of on a space station flying through Earth because, in space we would
Flying
die.
through space.
Yeah, through space. Yeah.
Not through Earth.
Not
I
through
mean,
Earth.
people do fly
That'll-
through Earth. I mean, not through it.
No, that would be weird. And plus, you would die once you got to the middle.
Once you hit the ground.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that's weird. That'll definitely be a show.
Yeah.
You can make
For
a
sure.
whole show about that. How Josh debunked the flat earthers.
Well, I don't think we're going to make it through this. I don't think we're going to make it all the way through this amendment in one part.
No, this will be part 1.1.
So I think 1.1 will be out Monday. Well, you're listening to it now, so it's out today, tonight, whenever you listen to it.
It's out whenever
out
you
right
get around
now.
to clicking play.
It's like I'm talking in the future.
You're a dork.
Hello, future self. If you're listening to this, I don't know.
We'll probably release the second.
I wish Wait a minute. It doesn't help past self talks to future self. I need future self to talk to past self.
Exactly. Tell you what the lotto numbers are.
Yeah.
We will probably, I don't know, we may release part 2 either later on in the week or just wait till the following week. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll end it here, then do the next part later on this week or maybe next week. I don't know. It's how we feel.
That's right, Kevin.
So, you ready to end this thing, or do you have anything else you want to bring up real quick? We still got a few minutes left, I'm guessing.
No, I mean, not without getting into something long. I mean, that's why we figured that this is going to be a multi-part series because there's a lot to talk about, especially with what's going on. Like, if it was just
Especially
like, this is a right and it's protected, then you wouldn't have nothing to talk about. But the fact
And in
that
all honesty, I don't know how much we actually talked about it, more than just veered off, way off course on some areas, and
we
that's
never
the
do
news
that.
you get with us.
That is a lie. We are like laser focused on this show
Yeah.
until one
Nothing
of us
but the
realizes
facts,
what's happening.
folks.
It's like, oh crap, let's get back on track.
I don't know what...
We're
'cause I
doing
don't know
it
what flat
right
Earth has to
now.
do with any- I don't know what flat Earth has to do with the First Amendment, but whatever.
Everything, Kevin. The
I
fact
care.
that you don't means you're in the dark.
Damn it. So, all right, everybody. I'm Kevin,
And I'm Josh.
and this was The Lost Art of Common Sense. Thank you.